February 5th, 2013. My mom's always told me to keep me a journal. For years up till now, I refused. Journals are a waste of time, I thought. Why bother keeping records of boring, listless days of high school that ended up being the same in this stupid fucking sleepy town? Nothing to do, nothing to see. I was always the kind of guy who'd always be on the lookout for a good bit of fun. Not the alcoholic kind, where people would bang Jaeger bombs in the back parking lot of school and puke their damn heads off, with no other thought but blazing 420s up their asses. But looking to see if people getting into fights, getting some thrills, that kind of stuff. Town was boring, life was boring, studying was boring. Being Asian in a hyper-educationally minded environment is draining, and for a guy who wants subtle moments of badass injected into the life here and there, it's everything I can do not to go stir shit up on my own. Because if I did, at least then, and only then, I'd have something to write about in a stupid journal like this. After coming back from a year of college, I've now got a reason to leave some of my memories behind. Something's happening. I don't know what. A thrill, alright. But not a thrill I think I want to experience. By the way, pencil paper is overrated. But then again, funds don't allow for the threshold of a better mic. Guess I'm just ghetto like that. At least electronic copies are more durable than physical boundaries. But that's debatable. Anyways, back on topic. Like I said, shit's going down in this town. I don't know what, but you can feel it in the atmosphere. Something along the lines of, like someone's trying to deep-throat you in your sleep. Something's big gonna hit. I notice it's not just me, though. I consulted with a few friends. Most don't indicate it, but there are a few who agree with me that they've been feeling the same shit. Even on the faces of complete strangers, at least those who could feel it as well, I can tell. It's pretty easy to tell, actually. Eyebrows are frowned down, teeth clenched, always on edge. I had this one lady who worked at the public library jump nearly her height in the air and drop all the books she was carrying on the floor when it cleared my throat to get her attention. She's worked at that for years. I know her. And I know she's not someone jump like that. Usually never really gets frightened by anything. One thing I've noticed that everyone who's being spooked right now has in common is the fact that we've all seen people die. Not some simple shit like, going to a funeral and seeing the open casket. No, none of that crap. One of my friends was in a car accident when she was little, and she was in the backseat directly behind the driver, and her mom was driving. Just so happened that a truck smashed into the driver's seat. Saw the bent grill go straight through her mom's neck. Spine and blood everywhere, apparently, is what I've heard. Obviously, she never really wants to talk about that. Another friend of mine was in a fire because he got stuck with another person who was watching a movie next to him. Complete stranger, though. They were sitting in the first seats from the screen. The fire flares up. Stranger dude tried escaping by himself, even though my friend told him, it wasn't safe. Flaming beam falls right down at him, and my friend gets to watch him burn. Brutal shit like that. That'll, definitely leave a mark. And in case you're wondering what I saw, well, let's just say it's complicated. I saw myself die, basically. I don't remember all of it since they told me my brain got hit with so much trauma afterwards during the recovery process that I guess you could say it forced me to forget. But what I do recall is holding my right arm with my left hand and seeing myself in the broken mirror. Obviously that ain't so bad compared to some of the shit I know my friends have seen, but, it's still quite an experience holding a dismembered limb of yours and not really knowing how you end up like that. Needless to say, I'm supposed to be dead, so I guess, that has something to do with this whole shit. Though, how should I say this? Yeah, it's frying our nerves. You know how you're all hyped up and excited for a new Call of Duty title to be released? All them YouTubers putting out reveal trailers or whatever the fuck they do to generate hype for the next COD. Yeah, you could say it's kind of like that. Yeah. But instead, in our situation, in our case, you're not really looking forward to it because you're going to enjoy it, or you hope that you're going to enjoy it. Instead, you're going to be looking forward to it You're looking forward to it because you just want to know what the fuck is going on. It's the anticipation of fear. And guess what? We're the lucky fanboys and fangirls who get fucked by it in the end. Yeah, sounds about right, eh? Other than that, though, there really haven't been any more signs. For now, those of us who do feel this premonition or whatever have decided to just be on the lookout for any suspicious crap. Some of them are even arming themselves, and I don't blame them. This shit's been going on for days now, and so if it ain't gonna stop anytime soon by itself, hey, guess what? Better man up and prepare our butts. As for me, I might not know what's going down, and maybe I won't like what's about to go down, but I'm sure glad as hell I got what I wished for. February 7th, 2013. Whoever said journals needed to be daily needs to go eat shit. In other news, I found one of my high school friends, Martin was his name, on the floor of his kitchen with his big kitchen knife through his jugular in his house. Big old bloodstain on the floor to boot. I was wondering when he'd give out. He's one of those guys who are real sensitive to his shit. When this whole situation started, he was one of the first to start freaking out. In fact, he was the first. We tried calming him down, of course, but most of us, including me, knew he wouldn't last much longer. Other than Martin's suicide, shit's escalating real fast. What was it? Lauren, I think it was. Her eyes are going out. Before this, her eyesight is extraordinarily good. I think someone mentioned it was like, what, 30/20? But she's going blind. She says instead of things going blurry, she feels like she's getting dunked into darkness. Like, you know how those people who get slowly dunked into a vat of tar, like in the medieval days, like, you know, ancient torture kind of stuff. At least, that's what she says. And she's not one to exaggerate shit either. So now, because of this, now everyone's worried out of their fucking minds. And at this rate at which Lauren's eyes are going blind, she says she'll be in complete darkness in about a week. Time to ride our wills for as much good they'll do us. More of a personal update here. For the past 2 days, I've been running, working out. I've done 3 years of cross country back in high school, and the training that we got there, well, while I was in cross country anyway, pretty much made my runner stamina permanent. I know there won't be a lot of improvement in only a few days' time, but at least a few days warm-up is better than none. Also stocking up on lots of long-term food, you know, like the shit you get in case of an earthquake or some other stupid natural disaster or something. Like they say, you can't ever be too prepared. But what's got me concerned is my gun skill. Back in high school, I used to take shooting lessons through 4-H. Shot 22s, pistols, rifles, even shot a shotgun once. Pretty cool. But fact was, I was never really too good at it, even if I wanted to be. But I go down to the shooting range yesterday with the M1911 my friend gave me before he died of stage 4 lung cancer about 2 months ago, and I'm in bullseyes on targets over and over. I'm pretty sure it's not the gun itself. Even if I put out the targets at their max range of, what was it again, like 50 meters or so? I'm just doing work. I think I only missed like 2 bullseyes out of, damn, how many mags did I shoot? Like 8 or so? Yeah. I don't know if I should be freaked out by that or excited. It's just weird. Not much else to it. Now that I've had a few moments to think about it, it's kind of like, in a warped sense, it's like we're all getting superpowers or something. At least, you know, that's just what I think. But At the same time, if there are supposed to be, superpowers, why are there people like Lauren who are getting hurt? Lauren's not the only one who's suffering from some sort of consequence. So, is that supposed to be their own superpower? Is is what's happening to them supposed to be some sort of version of some sort of superpower? I can't really speak for other people, but I just can't stop thinking about it. Especially what's happening to Lauren in particular. I mean, we have enough on our fucking heads, not, trying not to blow our heads off. And on top of that, she has to slowly watch herself go blind in the middle of it. For fuck's sake. How much dick needs to be sucked in order to reverse that? I know I did fucking hate it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Well, I mean, whatever I need to do to go to sleep every night knowing I at least have a chance to fight back against, well, shit, whatever the fuck we need to fight against. Sacrificing my sanity in order to live just a little longer by this point is a small price to pay, given that I didn't really consider myself to have a sanity to begin with. You know what this reminds me of? Reminds me of the Patriot Act. This country sure taught us well. February 10th, 2013. Laura went blind today. I should explain who's involved in this quagmire. A couple of us involved in this little group of ours. Me, Lauren, Steven, Chuck, Kane, Big, and Jenna. So here's the deal. We all went to the same high school, same class of 2012. It was our lunch group, basically. What we mean by that is, well, we just hung out in this stone bench, I guess you could call it, every single day during every single lunch. Coincidence that all of us are feeling this paranormal shit? Pretty sure it's not, but whatever. I could give you a map and tell you to go find all the fucks I give about superstition, all that crap, and you'll never be able to find any. I'm just pretty thankful that everyone who's involved, I know personally, so we have that, trust aspect going on. Martin, who offed himself a few days ago, was our friend, yeah, but he was like the awkward bird of our little posse. And since Lauren can't see jack shit anymore, she's living with Jenna for the time being, since they're close buddies. Actually, should I talk about everyone in detail? Yeah? Yeah, I guess I will. So, let's start with, Lauren, I suppose. She's a quiet girl. Kinda like me. She doesn't really talk much. Like one of those kinds of people who only talks, if they're talked to, or when they absolutely need to. She's not shy, per se. It's different than that, but she'd rather keep to people who she knows well, or if there's no one around, just to herself. Like I mentioned before, she had insane eyesight before she went blind. I remember one of our sophomore class field trips, she spotted the tallest roller coaster at Six Flags, nearly 40 miles out on her way there. We give her those stupid eye charts, like the ones they have you read at optometrists to gauge how bad or, how good your eyes are, depending on what your perception of that is. And damn, she'd get them all right. I think she's really into cooking and being a philosophy major too, if I'm not mistaken. Suits her, if you ask me. Now, after all this shit that's been going down, she's even more quiet. She hasn't even said a word about how she feels about losing her eyesight. It's like she's accepted the fact that time is running out for her, and that there's basically nothing she can do. think she has to wear bandages around her eyes, because apparently earlier today, according to Jenna, Lauren's eyes began to bleed. And when eyes start hemorrhaging, that's never a good sign. It's only a little bit of blood, but still, Jenna's freaking out about it. Being Laura's best friend, she can't stand seeing her own friend suffer like this, but even then, Lauren's a fucking statue. And, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have massive respect for her, because I do. Perfect segue into talking about Jenna, actually. Jenna's pretty much the opposite of Lauren. Bubbly, effervescent, I think the word is, yeah. Just in general, a super cheerful person. If you ever need, someone to cheer you up, she can do it. It's like, as if it's her fucking job. Makes sense that she's the dimwit and the clown of our little group, along with Chuck, who's also a clown, but less of an idiot, I guess. At least she was that way until Lauren got screwed last week by this paranormal shit. Now she's uber freaking protective of Lauren, almost to the point where none of us really can really see her unless, she knows about it. She really does want Lauren to get better. We've talked to her already, telling her that, there's probably not a chance in hell Lauren's gonna get out of this one alive. And she's accepted that. But, as long as Lauren's still breathing, I'm pretty sure Lauren or Jenna's gonna blow up Everest if that's what she needs to do. That's what she's gotta do to keep Lauren from dying. Chuck. Oh boy. Chuck's an odd one. Definitely an oddball. Yep. He's crazy about firearms. Has a whole collection of pistols and civvy rifles at his place. Wants to move out of Cali so he can legally own full autos. I don't blame it either, because, I'm kind of a gun nut myself, but I don't walk around telling folks that one of my 2 life goals is to one day be the proud owner of an AN-94 that was once formerly owned by a Russian Spetsnaz. The other one being fending off a zombie apocalypse with said gun. Like I said, kind of a nut job. But he's a lot like me. Straightforward, honest to the point of rudeness. Just a lot more outspoken than I am. He's always down for a fun time. And if he can't find a good time, well, he'll make one himself. And we've had instances of having to stop him from torching his own house. A pain, but, he's a fun dude to have around. At least he's really interesting and tries his best not to piss anyone else off. Now, Kane doesn't fucking talk, straight up. He almost never does. He's like Lauren, but with 13 fucking layers of duct tape over his mouth. It's freaking unreal how little he talks. Actually, I think the only time I ever remember him ever talking was the first time I met him. And guess what he said to me? Hi. One word, and that's it. That's why none of us ever asks Kane, any questions that aren't yes or no ones. It makes sense, seeing that he's the type of guy who usually avoids confrontations if he can. He never really picks fights, nor gets into any. He's like that little angel among us, except without the halo and wings, and always with a perpetual frown and expressionless face. I really don't know why he ever wants to hang out with us. He's never really told us anyway. I suppose it's because we're cool with him hanging out with us, and without us he might not have anyone else to go to. I don't know. He's yet to tell us. So about Big. There's a reason why we call him Big, and that's not because of his dick. It's because of his balls. This guy's got just about the biggest balls of any Chinese Englishman on the side of the frickin' West Coast. Weird composition, yeah, I know. He's not particularly big size-wise, but damn, See, look, he's not a badass, but if he needs to fight, he doesn't give a flying shit about who he needs to fight. He had a deep shit once with our high school administration once for kicking the absolute fuck out of one of the senior football jocks and almost twice his height and definitely more than twice his body mass back when we were freshmen. I heard he did that because that senior dude told him he was a nerdy ass chink who needed to go back to China or whatever area Oriental pisshole he was from. Yeah, well, Kane got him to the ER, and I don't even think that dude can even use his right leg properly anymore, not to mention his entire ribcage was broken. That much I know for sure. Remember, if the glasses come off, Kane's gonna kick your ass. Everyone in school learned that real quick. He never had to take off his glasses another time. And finally, Steven. Shit, man, his mind's even darker than mine. You could say we've got, similar personalities, true, but actually, in fact, we're pretty similar in virtually every aspect of our identities. We think alike, have similar interests, wear glasses, roughly same height, I guess. Similar looks. I mean, we could pass for brothers if we insisted, damn. Brothers from nether mothers, as Chuck called us. He's my best man, and there's all there is to it. Where we're different, though, comes with what we do. I mentioned before that his mind's a lot darker than mine, so mentally he can stomach a lot of shit, a lot more than, the rest of us. But when it comes down to actually doing what we say, or what we claim to do anyway, he's more conservative. He ain't a coward, but sometimes I just feel like he doesn't have the balls to back up what he says. I mean, he's just got to prove himself, I suppose. But then again, who am I to say this? In any case, ever since Lauren started Go Blind, everyone's been on edge. We haven't changed much, except for Jenna, obviously, but we're all prepared for the worst. Chuck asked me if I wanted him to put a bullet in my head if shit hit the fan, but I declined. That bullet's probably better used on someone else who needs it more than I do. Well, they haven't changed much. Well, I should say, not yet. Anyway. February 11th, 2013. I saw her. I don't know who she is, but I'll be damned if she's of this fucking world. I'm going to go see who she is. I hope that she doesn't kill me before I live to talk about it.